Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is another day, another episode of SMF Wrestling where I feel like we're in end times or something.
Oh! Fellas!
It's Ferb!
What happened to tag team champions? This tag partner is the boss, Phineas.
Don't worry, guys. I'm gonna do the right thing tonight. Hey, guys. You know what, guys? I know that my tag team partner, my brother, the owner of SMF Wrestling, the man who I share these tag team championships with, I know that Phineas is doing some bad things. And I want to come out and I want to say, Phineas, I don't agree with you. You're doing the wrong thing. But I'm going to try to do the right thing tonight because I am still one half of the tag team champions. So I'm going to call out anybody who's left in the tag team division. Let's make a tag title match.
Well, Ferb, I do believe there's about 2 tag teams left on the roster somehow.
Oh! One of those teams! Eric and Ivar, the Viking Raiders. Somehow these fellas survived the wrath of Phineas.
Oh, and the other tag team left is actually representing the NWO with Hollywood Hulk Hogan and Syndrome and the Cat.
These fellas are the new NWO. I guess these are literally the last 2 teams we have on the roster.
Okay, well, you two guys are the last tag team we have in SMF Wrestling. So, I'm going to make this official as tag team champion. The Viking Raiders versus the NWO. Winners will challenge me and Phineas for the tag team championships. Let's get the bell rung, guys.
Oh no.
What do you think you're doing, Ferb? There's no referee out here because this match is not official. And Ferb, you are my tag team championship partner, but you are not the owner of SMF Wrestling. I can't believe you're still this dumb. After all these years, you think you have the power to just make a match? Ferb, I'm the owner, not you.
Phineas, shut up! Phineas, I've been in SMF Wrestling since the very beginning, but after all my years, I can say that this is the worst SMF Wrestling has ever been, and it's all your fault!
My own brother. You want to talk trash about me? Haven't you learned that nobody survives dissing me? Ferb, in case you don't realize, I'm firing everybody because I'm building a new roster. And let me tell you who is a part of that roster. The Viking Raiders, I'm going to change your name to the War Raiders, and you're going to be taken more seriously. And Syndrome the Cat, you're supposed to be helping Hulk Hogan get back in the ring because Hulk Hogan will be on my roster. But you want to know who's not gonna be on my roster? Ferb, I respect the work that you've done for SMF Wrestling. I can indeed agree that without you, we wouldn't be here today. However, Ferb, unfortunately, you're not as much of a draw that you used to be. Yes, at one point in time, you did bring in millions of views, but you're here now, and we don't have the views that we used to have. Therefore, you're useless in 2025. Nobody has bought your t-shirt in years. You are irrelevant, and for that, Ferb, you have been released from SMF Wrestling.
What? You can't release me. I'm Ferb. I'm the GOAT. I'm the champion. You can't release me, Phineas. What are you doing? How could you? This company can't not have Ferb. I am SMF Wrestling. What? You can't fire me. No, let me go. No, Phineas. My tag title. No. My nose hurts. I miss you guys.
Now, with that out of the way, you 4 are lucky to even still have a job, so get out of my ring right now before I release you too. So from here on out, I will act as the tag team champions. And I will also hold the world title. And just to address some rumors from last week, no, there will not be a women's Royal Rumble. Sandy Cheeks does not have the power to book things. I'm getting word from the network that we're about to cut to commercial break, so I'll continue what I'm about to say in just a minute.
I didn't want to believe he'd do it, but he just did it. It appears like Phineas might be getting rid of women's wrestling. And you guys remember, I fought for years and years and years to get women's wrestling on SMF Wrestling. I'm not going to let that Phineas take it all away. We have to stand together. As the women's locker room, we have to fight back against Phineas. Who's with me? We haven't been fired yet, so we're going to make our voices heard. Let's do this, ladies.
You don't ever bury me on national television again. Oh, we're back. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back from our break. Your real champion is here. So the next oh, come on.
It's the YouTube champion.
Wow. We're handing out releases tonight, huh?
You released Ferb, a man who I have history with. But you have not released Seth freaking Rollins, even after I stomped your head into the mat last week. But you see, Phineas, I'm a visionary. And I had this vision a long time ago. I always knew you were a two-faced lying bastard. Seth, before I obliterate you, you're calling me a two-faced liar. You're working with Paul Heyman. Literally the worst villain in all of SMF Wrestling. The guy who lied a couple years ago. Hypocrite.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Phineas, I do know that I have quite a history in SMF Wrestling of being the snake, the shady businessman, the wise man who just wants to make money. But Phineas, do you remember that at this year's WrestleMania, I do believe that I sacrificed myself to help your team get the victory? Okay, what's your point? The point is, I've had a change in attitude because I was betrayed. The Rock betrayed me, which is why I realized that life is too short to be evil. I've changed my ways, and truthfully, I knew that if I could return to WrestleMania and help you defeat the Bloodline, this company would be saved. And I did not ever intend to return to SMF Wrestling until I got the call from the Visionary. The YouTube champion, Seth Rollins, you called me and you said you had a vision, and your vision was that Phineas would be worse than The Rock. He would even be worse than Chuck. He would be worse than me, Paul Heyman. And Seth Rollins, they call him a visionary for a reason. They call him the architect, the revolutionary. Seth knows what he's talking about. So when Seth asked for a wise man to help him not just get the title, no, in fact, I had nothing to do with the title. That was all Seth. What I am back here to do is to expose you, and I am here to help Seth Rollins strip you of your power, because Phineas, you are evil. Wow, look at that. Seth Rollins stooping so low to be the champion again that he has to call up Paul Heyman. Wow. What a downfall, Seth. You know, Seth, you and Ferb are in the same boat, because Seth Rollins, at one point in time, you were the best wrestler on the planet. But Seth Rollins, all the years of wrestling has caught up to you. Are we going to forget that you've spent the past 5 or 6 months on and off injured? I kept having to clear you when you weren't really recovered and you injured yourself again. Seth Rollins has spent the majority of this year on the shelf. And it's because, Seth, you're getting too old. Your knees are made of spaghetti. You, realistically, do not have very much time left to be a full-time professional wrestler. And that's why you've spent the past few months in your little midlife crisis. That's why you begged your only friend you have left, Gumby, to give you a title match. Because you know that you and your days of being in this ring are numbered.
You shut your mouth! You listen to the visionary, Phineas.
My days may be numbered, but with the limited time that I have, I am going to make sure that I burn your career down. I will stomp you into the mat. Save SMF Wrestling. If it's the last thing that I can do with my numbered career, that thing is going to be ending you. I'm not going to be alone. No, I have my wise man, Paul Heyman. And just in case you want to try to make me bleed out and cheat, you want to try to send the visionary to the hospital, I have backup of my own.
You're dang right about that! You've got me, Seth! I realized Paul Heyman has changed. I believe in forgiveness. And Seth Rollins, I did get my dream match. You were the better man. I've realized that our true enemy is Phineas. So, if Phineas tries any cheap tactics, I'm gonna be there for you, Seth.
And of course, that is why Mr. Rollins has called me, because he knows that I am a master negotiator. Phineas, the YouTube champion Seth freaking Rollins is challenging you to a match. We know you like to collect belts. Mr. Seth Rollins will put his title on the line as long as you put all of your belts on the line. However, we would like to add another stipulation. So if my client, Seth Rollins, defeats you, you have to step down from being the owner of SMF Wrestling forever. How ironic. Heyman's doing the same thing that I did to The Rock, and the difference is that when I did it to The Rock, I actually won, and I took over SMF Wrestling. But this time's gonna be different. See, Seth, you're lucky. You're lucky that, one, your name is Seth freaking Rollins, and you are one of the greatest of all time, and a win over you would make me the official greatest of all time. So, I want that YouTube title, of course I do. And I'm interested in this match. Now, I'm not stupid to put my ownership position on the line, especially when we got this clown over here. The flash in the pan, the star that the fans chanted for, only to forget about you 9 seconds later. I'll tell you what, Seth. I'm gonna counter your offer. Mr. Heyman, let's make the contract right now. Seth Rollins versus Phineas. All of the belts will be on the line, even those tag titles. And here's the thing. If you lose, Seth Rollins, not only do you lose your championship to me, but you lose your career. You have to retire. I'm only doing it for you, buddy, because at least you can still walk right now. You keep wrestling, you may never walk again if you keep putting pressure on your injured knees. And one more thing. In order for me to accept this match, I need one more thing. If I accept this match, Paul Heyman and Gumby are banned from ringside. Because I know what you're going to do. You're going to try to team up on me. Because you know I don't have any friends. I fired all of them. No, that ain't gonna happen. I want my dream match. Seth freaking Rollins versus Phineas. All the belts. Career versus titles. What do you say? Seth? Or do you gotta ask your little dad over here for permission? Is it a deal?
It is a deal.
Ah, Seth. You're such a legend. I promise you, buddy. Once I retire you, I'll guarantee next year you'll be in the Hall of Fame. And you can enjoy your retirement. Take care of Becky for us.
Oh my goodness. That is career versus title. But win though. He didn't say win. Oh yeah, my bad. Next episode, no pay-per-view, just Phineas versus Seth Rollins, the dream match. See you then. I'm the better commentator than these idiots. I'll see you next week when I retire Rollins.